Hi, I'm Emerald and welcome to my first video in my Artist's Way series. This is going to be about week 1. Even though I'm on week 4, I tried to film this video 2 weeks ago and there was no audio. So had to take a breather from that, but I'm back. This video is going to be me talking thoughts about all of it because it's a lot at once. I've never done something like this before. And then I'm also going to be taking you along with me to my artist date. I went to LACMA to see the Ed Ruscha exhibit, so if you just want some museum content, skip to the end. But if you want to hear about this wonderful workbook, then keep watching. So I bought this book about a year ago and it just wasn't the right time. And this summer I found a group to do the Artist's Way together. So this is a workbook. I believe it's either 8 weeks or 12 weeks, but basically this author has written a series of tasks and guidelines to try to help you awaken your inner artist. Some things you do every day and every week are your morning pages. So that's 3 pages every single day, just of longhand writing about anything. Another thing is the tasks for the week. So each week has different tasks. Most of them are writing based and you are supposed to do all of them. And then finally, every week you do an artist date. So you take yourself out on a date by yourself for 2 hours and it's supposed to be anything that kind of makes your inner child happy. I'm happy that I revisited this and started with a group. The first week was interesting. I don't feel like I'm a new artist. And the first time I read this book, I felt like, I don't think rudimentary is the right word, but it definitely focused on the repressed artist who isn't really an artist. It's the person who, is a stay-at-home mom who always wanted to be a painter, or the lawyer who wants to be a writer. It was very much targeted towards those people. So I didn't really relate to it, especially in this first chapter, but going through it with my group was so nice. I did it with a group of people who are all musicians, which was really cool, talking creativity across kind of groups because I am all fine art and paintings and illustrations, so it was awesome hearing just a whole different side of like what writers think about this and musicians. Also, most of them are older than me and they have albums and stuff, so it was really interesting moving through this with a group who felt the same way about this and the conversations that we had within the group. A big focus on this chapter, for me at least, was the affirmations. And the affirmations written in this chapter, I didn't really relate to. And we had this fun moment where we were all just kind of talking about what we related to and what we didn't and what we would swap, and we shared a bunch of different ones that we would have. Specifically around core negative beliefs, I don't have a lot of internal core negative beliefs. I'm really excited that I get to do these things, and I know at the end of the day I am my own advocate, and as long as I'm making things that make me happy, that's okay. So a lot of the self-doubt just wasn't there for me, but a lot of my negative beliefs are much more targeted. So some of the ones that I shared were that I will burn myself out because I have chronic health issues. So I am hyper aware of how much time I have in the day. And I am so scared that if I spend my time doing something as active as art, I won't be able to work normally. And I have guilt resting and I have guilt using energy. And it's just this weird cycle where I'm so scared of burning myself out and having nothing to show for. So that was something that I came to realize in my morning pages that really resonated with me, and when I shared that with the group, a lot of other people also resonated. So going through this with a group, and I don't know if we're bastardizing the experience or not, going through this with a group and being able to say I super related to this part, but I didn't relate to this part at all, and being able to kind of brainstorm and thinking about different ways to modify and talking about what was valid and what wasn't was just such a nice experience. And the core negative beliefs is something that I think about a lot now, of whenever I feel friction in my life to create, what is it that I'm fixating on and justifying? And it's just been my favorite part of the chapter, oddly enough. And it's ironic because the first time I came through this, that was a chapter that I kind of hated and was just like, oh, this book isn't about me, I'm gonna put it away. And now revisiting it, it's the one that has shone the light the most on me. This chapter focused a lot on shadow artists, which again were, you know, the lawyers who were repressed and really want to be a writer, and that was just not something that I related to, but I like that when I read it, it kind of scared me a little bit in a weird way, and it made me scared to not do art, which was a really nice feeling. And that chapter led into Your Child Within, and that was another chapter where again I just felt differently in a really weird way. Oddly enough, going through this book made me have to confront a lot of trauma and unhealthy thoughts I have around my body and energy and my health issues. And one of the ones where that surfaced in was definitely The Child Within. My first couple journal entries was just about that, because I came to the realization that my inner child does not play. That girl does not want to play around and have fun. She is the softest, gentlest little creature, and she just wants to be in bed. She wants to be nurtured. She is hiding in the corner because that's where she feels safe. And that's okay. And it was really nice for me to kind of realize that as an adult with autonomy, it feels kind of flipped, where like, I'm an adult now, I have my own back, I can stand up for myself, I can do all of these things, and now it feels like the time where I get to really play and hang out. So that was another like weird thing that I didn't realize about myself that I just kind of realized all of a sudden for here, and it has been so much fun to just play and kind of shift the mindset where it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. It sounds, I know I say it and it sounds like the same as like having an inner child or not, but it's just rooted in a different place, and it's nice. It feels like I'm free from a lot of things, and I just have the audacity to go to the dumb museum that I want to go to, or this dumb place, or buy the stupid kit that I want to. It's really nice. Reading through this book, I know what she wants to achieve with them. I feel bad kind of piecing and just taking what I need from it. I love the affirmations, but I don't necessarily care to do them very much. And I know the whole point of this book is to do things even when you don't want to do, but I'm really enjoying this experience, so I'm just doing them when I see them or when I think about them. And again, there's no way that this book can be the end all and be all and have all the writing that I need specifically. And I think it's okay for me to look at a section and say, I don't relate to this. Especially when I got into the tasks, I started realizing this, because the tasks on this section are definitely tailored towards people who are like the shadow artists or have really negative core beliefs. And I didn't really relate to that. Like, one of the tasks here was to time travel. List 3 old enemies of your creative self-worth. I really didn't have any other than myself and my fear of spending too much energy on something. I never really had anyone who's super negative to me. I was kind of the opposite as a child, and I would seek people saying negative things to me because I'm really competitive and I love growing. When I would show pieces in a gallery, my signature is my initials. People never expect that it's me who did the painting. So my favorite thing in the world since I was like 14 is to just stand behind my painting and hear what people have to say from it. I feel kind of crazy to admit that, but it just makes me happy. I don't think that discouragement or critique is necessarily bad. Again, I'm super competitive, and it made me have really tough skin, and it made me really focused on what I want to create. So, and a lot of these tasks, again, I didn't really have anything to say, and I was literally just looking at it and it was completely blank. Like, I didn't have a horror story from my Monster Hall of Fame. I didn't have a letter to write to somebody who was negative to me, because again, that I genuinely can't muster up somebody who I care about. When you start having health issues when you're like 14 and are just in and out of hospitals constantly, you don't give a crap about if somebody said that your little drawing is bad. I've been a little bit of a nihilist since then. So it comes in one ear, right out the other. Could not, if you put a gun to my head, think of a single person. Again, don't know if that's healthy or not, but something I'm realizing about myself. I did have a bunch of champions of my creative self-worth though. That was a section focusing on people who really supported you when you were younger and in your creative journey. And I did write those letters and talk about those people, and I still just adore them, and I think that they know their impact from me, and the next time that I see them, I will thank them. And then the last like task slash writing exercise that really interests me was the imaginary lives thing. That one felt weird because all of mine were kind of creative, and it was interesting what I chose. The only one that I felt really passionate about was being a UFC fighter. I don't know why or what that says about me, but that was the only one where I was like, if I can't do anything creative at all, I would love that. I also thought car designer, which again is very creative. All of my jobs were just different. Like I designed furniture, I like designed consumer goods. It's all design. Like it didn't really make sense, but that was one wild card that I was like, okay, aggressive. And then I also put down lawyer, but I do know in my heart I would absolutely hate that. So again, I don't really feel like I got the point with that because I'm weird and tunnel vision, but I'm happy that I did it. And now I know maybe I should go back to kickboxing classes or something. Overall, this first week was super interesting, and it just really set me up to be excited about the book. I have a feeling that this is not the first time I will be doing this, and it's really interesting even just comparing the first time that I tried to do it to this time and how different it is. I have gained so much just insight of where I was and what was happening and my views on certain things from just a year ago to today. So I can't imagine if I were to do it, 2, 3, 10, 20 years in the future and do it by myself, how different it would be. Video that kind of inspired me to pick this up was Apple Cheeks, and I feel like she's just so committed to everything, and when I hear other artists talk about this book online, they just seem so committed to it, and I know in my heart there's no way that you're perfect. There's no way that you're not missing your morning pages. There's no way that you're doing every single task and it's resonating with you and you're looking at every single paragraph and just feeling it in your soul and being enlightened. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk so much about this chapter, even though I didn't necessarily relate to it, because I'm still extracting value. Like, the language is so serious. You write a contract to yourself and it's really just pushed into you to do all of these things, but it's okay to take it a little casually as long as you know you're taking it casually, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not expecting my life to be changed. If somebody asks me if I'm doing this, I'm gonna say that I'm doing a modified version, and I'm okay with that because I'm just excited that I'm doing it. Because at the end of the day, I've never done something so intentional to foster my own creativity. I've never done like an artist residency or taken a week off and just painted or did anything that was just for my creative self. So I'm happy that I'm doing it and I'm finding value in my own way. Because again, I know my rational side of my brain is telling me that there is nobody really doing this perfectly. And if they're coming out of the gate with all of the skills needed and the self-discipline and the passion and all of this stuff, then they're on a different level. There's no way that the lawyer with goals of being a writer someday has the willpower to write every single morning 3 pages, or else he'd be a writer already, right? You can yell at me in the comments because I know I'm not doing it right, but also it's just a book. And if I'm having value from it, and my experience is I feel like the mass majority of people, then might as well be honest with you guys and tell you what I'm actually doing and not doing. And if you want somebody who's serious about this, there's a lot of other really lovely channels, but I'm just gonna talk about my experience and my funky little way of doing it. So with that, those are all my thoughts on week 1, and now I kind of wanna get into my artist day. Hi, it's VoiceOver Emerald here. So for my artist day, I went to the Ed Ruscha exhibit and it was incredible. The entire gallery was almost empty and I was so excited that I could get close to these paintings that I love. There's something really special about seeing an artist like him who makes these really blocky, modular, clean paintings and being able to go up and see the brush strokes. It just gets me going. I was so sad that I waited till literally the last day to go to this exhibit exhibit, and I was just constantly thinking about it the entire time of I have a big issue with procrastination, because this was something I knew about literally for 2 years and waited till the last day to go to it. And it's my favorite artist in the world. It was just kind of a wake-up call. They had all of his books and all of his printed media. I finally got to see every single building on the Sunset Strip, which I was just so excited about. And it was the first time that the beautiful painting Lakme on Fire was ever in Lakme. I don't know if it will be the last time, but MoMA owns it, so that was really incredible to see. They had his collection of photos taken from a helicopter that he used to reference. I picked up a couple of his books on the way out, one of which was some LA apartments, and I saw an apartment in there that I have been obsessed with since I was a small child, and it validated a part of my soul in a way I cannot explain. And I'm just overall really happy that I did this. Yeah, thank you for making it till the end of the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.